The government shutdown significantly shifted 2014 polling towards Democrats because overwhelmingly Americans knew the shutdown was the responsibility of Republicans. Many Republicans loved the shutdown. They wanted a shutdown. They were predicting and calling for a shutdown for years. But now we actually see a shift in the other direction, in part because of the Obamacare stumbles getting started. Mediaite has written up the recent polls. The CNN ORC poll back in October showed Democrats defeating Republicans in kind of a generic 2014 ballot, 50-42 by 8 points. Now, the latest CNN poll shows Republicans taking the lead over Democrats, 49-44. This is a 13-point swing. Even worse for Democrats, the survey found that voters loyal to the party in power in the Senate are less enthusiastic than average about even voting in 2014. Only 22% of Democrats are describing themselves as extremely or very enthusiastic. I think it might actually be time to become more concerned for Democrats. Democrats have a history of blowing midterm elections. Think back, Lewis, to the 2010 midterms, where in the lead up to the passage of the Affordable Care Act, the Obama administration and Democrats more broadly did an absolutely laughable job, terrible job at explaining the benefits of the Affordable Care Act, at really explaining why this is a victory, and they suffered because of it. And now that we're just days from 2014, these polls start to matter. One caveat, Lewis, before I let you comment on this, a couple of Democratic commenters, I don't know what we would call them, analysts, have said that national polls on 2014 are oversampling Republicans. We don't have specific evidence of that. There are simply some Democrats who are suggesting that. We don't know. That may be the case. Lewis, what are your thoughts about these numbers?
Well, it's an early poll, and I don't really like polls, so I'm not going to just wholly accept this. But I will say that if these numbers are true, I think it's pretty shocking. I think it shows that, assuming Republicans are not being oversampled, that a lot of the people supporting Republicans don't care that they did absolutely nothing and were just obstructionists, or think it's a good thing, or don't even know, to be perfectly honest.
There's one other possibility when it comes to the numbers, which is how much does a generic ballot poll translate to individual voters? Because I can imagine, Lewis, if you poll people broadly, they say, we are way less in favor of Democrats than we are Republicans, broadly speaking, because of these 4 issues. But when it comes down to election day, they still will look at the Democratic candidate and the Republican candidate and say, hey, listen, even if nationally I'm less in favor of Democrats right now, given the 2 choices I have, I'm still going to vote for the Democrat. And that's something that the poll can't really tell us.
Right. Oh, there's a lot of these polls can't tell us. That's certainly a factor. And it's so early. I wouldn't put too much into this.
What I can guarantee you is that Democrats need to get moving now on Obamacare PR. As we get into 2014 and people start actually getting the coverage that they signed up for through healthcare.gov or the state exchanges, they can't do the 2010 election job and expect to hold on to the Senate. It's just they need to do better.